Right, Sunday morning. We had the hot one Friday. I think officially where I am, on the coast of Suffolk, that was 26, but the garden is quite sheltered here and a bit of a sun trap, so we did in the shade. That was actually 32 at certain points, so we had a decent temperatures. Then typical British weather Saturday, so just a day after 32, we had 16 degrees all day and on off drizzly rain. But last night we had a good thunderstorm and a good downpour, so it's watered the garden for me. And today's looking to be about 22, around 20-22, so nice. It's fairly early in the morning still. It is about around about 9:30 in the morning. I thought we'd have a quick look about, just have a look at a couple of plants, see what's going on. So, like I say, I mean, it's pretty much summer now. Temperatures are good, nighttime temperatures are reasonably good. So everything's out, including the stuff like caladiums and all the houseplants, which not all of my houseplants, but all the houseplants I put outside are outside now. Yeah, caladium's been out for a week and already getting eaten. I've got various caladiums dotted about. This is quite a nice one. Got the sort of white veining with the red speckles. But yeah, we've got various sort of the more sunny, sensitive ones are in the shade. So nice bit of variegation that always lights up the shady corner. So that's looking okay. Got some syngoniums there, looking good. Croton. Yeah, I just want to. So I've got a nice colius here actually, a bit of a bargain buy. This is probably one of my favourite colius. I don't know the species. They're doing them in Asda at the moment. They're £3.50 or 2 for £6. Yeah, nice little just under bedding plants. So, but the leaves are for colius quite big, and yeah, you get some really good colours in some of these. I mean, that was flowering when I bought it, so I nipped the flowers out. So I wanted the growth to go into the foliage, and we've got loads of new growth coming up. Yeah, so I've got 2 for £6 on them. Like I say, no species name, but we've got another one over here that sort of gives a nice pop of colour. That one is starting to flower as well. Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, I did grow some from seed, but you don't get, you know, you just get a bit of a mix and nothing sort of too special. But if you want a sort of specific one, you just have to, you know, keep an eye out and get it if you want it. But I mean, this one is, like I say, quite nice. I do like the colours on that, and the leaves are quite big. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff here, like I say, house plants and that are just placed in pots. I mean, again, like with this alocasia, pushing out new growth just in a pot at the back of the border, so that what that gives you the opportunity to is, if you know, the pots are disguised by the foliage at the front of other plants, so you don't really see the pots, and that just gives you the opportunity to move and adjust as you want to, really. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility in that sense. because when I first started putting some stuff out a month or so ago, like I've got a Kentia palm here, and since I've placed that, the got a small Dixonia antarctica tree fern there. Literally only got about 6 inches of trunk, but obviously that's flushed out and pretty much covering that Kentia palm, so I may well move that somewhere else. So that gives you that flexibility to do that. So the only really pot that stands out is the giant bird of paradise, which I made the mistake really. I've got a euonymus variegated, which has sort of been growing up this fence for years. It's sort of right up over the fence level now, and it was quite bushy at the front, and I thought, well, if I cut that back I can get a few sort of bigger plants in front, but I cut it back a bit too much. I think that would have been better to leave some of the bottom foliage I could sort of wrap around and cover the plant, the plant pot itself. But yeah, hindsight. So yeah, eventually all the plants in front will fill out. Nice little caladium there, red one, even pushing out a little baby. Bit of a shame of these pedicites. This is a variegated one. Maybe not the best place. Well, probably gets too much sun here. They probably want a bit more shade, but I don't think it'd make a difference in this situation, because the bugs just love them, the slugs and snails all over, and they just look a mess. So I'm gonna probably pull them out. Yeah, so this, I call it a shade border, but that does get full sun all morning till about midday. Still got a couple of plants to squeeze in, so these are just ones that I've got some dahlias here which I got last year. Obviously you can see that they were reduced to 50p at the end of the season, knowing full well that they'd come back this year, so I just sort of kept them in a greenhouse over winter, and they've started to shoot up, so I'll get them in the ground wherever I can. And another sort of supermarket bargain really, this is a Chinese lantern. So it says it gets to about 3 foot, and you get them nice sort of orange little lantern type flowers, and they're pretty cheap, to be fair. These were £2 each, or 2 for £3, so got 2 for £3. Never tried them before, so I'm not saying they're overly sort of tropical feel, but they are quite exotic looking, so we'll give them a go this year. So yeah, they're just a couple there to place. I am gonna take a trip out later. I'm looking to get something big. I weren't going to mention it because I've been disappointed before. I've seen this particular nursery do decent size sort of boutillas at a reasonable price, so what I'm looking to do is, looking at the garden as a whole, as I look down it, we've got the big Canariensis there, and we've got obviously the cord lines there, so we've got 2 sort of quite big structural plants, and everything down this border is quite small. So I'll be, if they have any left, trying to get a big boutia and maybe bring the border out a bit and whack that in there, just to give it a little bit of balance, a little bit of height. But that's just a possible. I'll see what they've got. I'm nipping out later to see. Anyway, so like I say, just a general sort of look about. did cut off a leaf on the tetrapanax just to. I had an elephant here which I left in over winter, which has come back again, so I'm to give that a little bit more light. And that's one of the first leaves that came out on this tetrapanax, and that was touching the ground and starting to go over a bit, so I took that off anyway. Yeah, this Cordline Superstar's still looking good. A little bit of marking on some of the old foliage. Not too concerned. A nice and wide glossy leaf on them, kicking out loads of new growth. Even the green fingers have really put on some decent leaves this year. That's up till now. I think I've had that for 2 or 3 years, and from a fairly small plant, and yeah, this year is the first time we've got some sort of biggish leaves out of that, so that's good. And another little update for you if you like. The camouflage fats here, which sort of died off on the top, you can still see it's got that brown dead growth on top, but yeah, loads of new growth from the sides. It looks like it's branching off, so we've got a couple of 2 or 3 branching sections, and yeah, we're pushing out some nice new leaves on that, so that survived. So again, I think I mentioned this last year, that is quite similar in shape and in shade to these, which is the Pedicites palmatum gold speckled. So yeah, 2 plants very similar shape and appearance, so I may well, even though these have spread quite nicely, these do tend to get a bit too much light here when they the leaves mature, and yeah, get too much light, and they do tend to burn because they're a lot lighter with the amount of sun they get in there. So a good example is if you look at the colour of these ones, which are almost golden. I mean, some are sort of lime green, but really quite light bleached out. Whereas if we have a look at a little clump here, we've got in a lot more shade, and the leaves are bigger in the shade and a better colour, and you don't tend to get any burn on them, so yeah, decent sized leaves on them. So that might be another plant to move. So we give them a chance for a couple of years. They're not performing how we well, to their full potential, if you like, and also we've got the clash of similar foliage to the fancier camouflage at the back there. So at the end of the season I will pull all these out and redistribute in appropriate areas. So yeah, it's just a little look what's going on. Still not quite ready to do a full garden tour yet, just due to the fact there's still a lot of tidying up to do. I've been doing little areas at a time, but between other things, so yeah, still parts of the garden looking quite good at the moment. Okay, thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one, and we'll just leave you with this the nice fuchsias here, which is one of the few plants that were in the garden when I moved in 15 years ago or thereabouts, and they never failed to look good. Really nice. Right, we'll leave it there.